Was that smoke or mist?
It's mist.
Mist, Hashira?
Yeah!
Hell yeah!
This is who we wanted.
Love Hashira. Whoa, her sword's like ribbon-like almost like Daki's technique.
Okay,
more
so
like an announcement than a trailer, I feel like.
Yeah, an announcement of that arc and which Hashira will be a part of it.
Yeah.
So we already know that the Mist Hashira is much respected by Tengen as basically being... has this innate ability to be a demon slayer.
Yeah.
What is it, like 2 months to be a Hashira or something wild like that?
Yeah. Nuts. Love Hashira, we don't know too much about. We know that her and Rengoku had some sort of connection.
I mean, I was kind of thinking she'd be in this one because we saw that she and Rengoku had like a little bit more of a friendship.
Yeah.
So I thought she would be kind of the next that we got to know.
Yeah.
But I'm liking that they're all kind of intermingled and they all have different relationships with each other. Like, obviously, Snake Hashira is, like, a little bit sassy to Tengen. And...
Nobody's beaten an upper rank in over a century.
And he's like, but it was a low-numbered one.
Like, that's... Like, think for a second, like, how strong the other upper ranks must be if Gyutaro was the lowest.
You asked the question of, is that one that turned Daki and Gyutaro still around? And we've been shown silhouettes.
Yeah.
And I don't recognize that silhouette. And that's why I'm, like, wondering. I don't know.
Well, in regards to the finale, I guess in chronological order, Nezuko seemingly canceled out Gyutaro's last attack.
Obviously, it doesn't cancel out kind of some amount of destruction because we already saw that, you know, everything was rubble. But I'm sure if those slices hit someone, they would have killed them.
Yeah.
So,
fucking good on you, Nezuko.
She was asleep.
She also healed, like, I guess Tanjiro too, just off screen because he was poisoned, no?
Yeah.
And then he healed Inosuke and Tengen. Tengen was literally on his deathbed, and he couldn't even get his last words in because they were all arguing.
That's why, so I wasn't feeling emotional upon seeing Tengen because of how Suma was acting and was being drawn.
Yeah.
That it gave me the feeling that it was
everything
a more
was gonna
comedic
be okay.
situation, that everything was going to be okay. Yeah. Obviously, with how Tengen's face is drawn right there, where he's like, oh, I can't even get out my last words, you know?
Well, I don't know what this means for, like, Nezuko. Like, obviously Tengen was, confused as well.
It makes you wonder what other... So think about it this way. Like, Rui's attack, like his, like, spider threads, she could burn them up. Here we have her dispelling this poison from Gyutaro. What if, like, she is able to kind of fight against or have some type of beneficial advantage over each other demon's kind of demon art?
Well, I think that's true probably because all of the demons' arts stem from Muzan. I think that this might kind of confirm that Nezuko has the power, like we've thought about it when she earlier this season, that she 100% has the power of the sun with this technique, because one of the things that Tanjiro suggested to heal Inosuke was the sunlight, right?
Nezuko is the sunlight in his life.
What about sunlight, right? So I think that it has to do with the bloodline.
And you even said Hinokami, like you brought that up. Like, can he use that? But it does make a lot of cute sense.
Yeah.
That Nezuko can do that.
I think she somewhat is also accessing a form of Hinokami in like a different... But this is also the first time that I don't understand. We might have talked about it in Mugen Train, but this means that Muzan potentially wasn't the one to make Nezuko a demon. Right?
Unless Muzan had some greater plan for Nezuko.
it's weird to me that like Nezuko's a demon. Like every time we see like a demon being made, we kind of like see their backstory, see them like on their deathbed, and the demon's like, okay, I'll make you a demon, you know?
Yeah.
Like how'd that happen?
It seems more like it was someone who just didn't realize that Nezuko wasn't dead. Or they intentionally made Nezuko a demon.
They would have had to.
Yeah. Which makes you think if it was Muzan, it was some part of a greater plan. Maybe Muzan thought that if he made a demon out of this specific family, they'd become like the greatest demon ever. And to become an upper rank or something.
We don't really see what happens, like, the gap between where that upper rank made Gyutaro and Daki a demon, like, and said that he was going to, into them actually transforming into a demon and then having, like, sentience,
we
like,
just
and
saw,
talking.
Like, the very beginning of him changing, because, like, the veins on Gyutaro's neck.
Which is interesting, because, like, I don't know if they become a demon right then, and then the upper rank tells them, like, the situation, brings them to Muzan, and if that's the case, why would they make Nezuko a demon and then just leave? Like, that seems so weird. Right?
I don't know. We thought it was Muzan because that's what we thought.
Could like somebody have hurt whoever, whether it was Muzan or whoever the demon was, and then Nezuko just took in the blood by accident, like that, like it. I feel like it wasn't intentional to make Nezuko a demon at this point. Like, and if it was, why? Like, I am so confused.
Well, maybe if it was intentional, there might not have been the thought that Nezuko wouldn't just join the demon side, and that there would be, that she would be how she is, you know, where she is muzzled and not wanting to kill humans.
Sure.
Maybe they didn't think that would be the case.
You'd think there'd be some introduction process to becoming a demon.
Yeah, we just don't know what that
like
would
a
be.
demon orientation. You'd think that you'd get like a meeting.
Well, because the last person we saw being changed into a demon really was Rui, and we saw it with Muzan being the one that showed up.
Yeah.
This was our first time seeing. Obviously, Akaza brought up to Rengoku that he could do it, but this was our first time seeing someone other than Muzan do it. I think.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that it was our first time that it was someone other than Muzan. So maybe there's like a different process if it's not Muzan, but if it is Muzan, then it's kind of just a I'm in charge of you now threatening like thing.
I don't know, man. It's weird. Is there any, like, crazy theory, is there any way that Muzan, like a third party, made Nezuko a demon? Or Nezuko, or somehow being killed by a demon activated something in the bloodline or some crazy shit. Like, I'm just thinking back to Gyu. Gyu was
hunting a demon. I thought he was specifically hunting Muzan.
I think we assume, I think that's what we're thinking he was. Because I think we thought that because at the time...
at the time we thought Muzan was the only one that could
make
turn
people demons.
And make people demons. But
Correct.
Now we know it could have been any upper rank. Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, man. And like, it seems like if an upper rank decides to make somebody a demon, there's a reason for it, right? They think that they could be an upper rank caliber. Maybe that they made Nezuko a demon, then got scared off by Gyu being so close and ran away. I don't know.
I don't know if an upper rank would have been
That's what I'm saying. It's not adding up to me.
You know what that makes you wonder? Did they run away because of Nezuko in demon form?
Maybe.
And then Nezuko was asleep-ish when Tanjiro found
Bloodied,
her.
but like,
Bloodied.
yeah.
Who knows? We don't know what happened.
That's
really.
Like it's. I feel like we're missing information.
Nezuko could have fought them off a little bit.
Is there a reason we don't see the turning process here, like with Gyutaro and Daki?
Maybe because it doesn't fully happen. Like maybe the upper ranks can just basically keep you alive. And then maybe Muzan has to give you has to decide. It might be that Muzan doesn't want something to become, he wants a final say
I take it as the second that the upper rank tries to turn the demon is when Muzan decides. Like, at that point that his blood or whatever would enter this person.
Oh, it's either gonna kill them or
yeah,
turn them
and
into a demon.
and that decision is up to Muzan, which is super weird for the Nezuko thing. But speaking of the Daki Gyutaro backstory, that hit, man. That hit home a little bit. I love the whole sequence of Tanjiro covering Gyutaro's mouth. And
I had a feeling he was going to do something with them hurling so many like insults at each other before death.
Yeah.
Before disappearing.
It was so good. I love that it seems like first of all, Gyutaro was already like the man, like when he was alive, like when it comes to strength. Would have made probably an amazing demon slayer.
Probably.
A scythe, like, you know, what do you call it? What's the blade? Nishi ring? A Nishi ring scythe would have been awesome. Mm-hmm. But you wonder, like, it's really about, do you think that this would have been the same cause if the circumstance that these people were born into was different?
It makes you wonder if all of the really strong demons, if the demon slayers had gotten to them first, they would have been... It's almost like both groups are competing to find the best humans.
Yeah.
Because the strongest humans with the biggest will, the biggest ability, tend to become the strongest demons. Seemingly. I mean, Akaza thought Rengoku would be an amazing demon.
When they were in the, I guess, what do you call it? Like, it seems like another realm or like a purgatory kind of thing. And Gyutaro was still his demon form, which I'm assuming was because he was still alive, like he was fading out, but like his head was still there. Daki was in her human form because I think she already passed on, right?
I took it more as Gyutaro wasn't releasing he wasn't allowing himself to become who he was prior. I feel like Daki reverted back to Ume.
Yeah.
And then Gyutaro was trying to keep them separate, so he was trying to stay, not fully be re-becoming who he was as a human, in a way to kind of keep Ume going towards the light instead. I
get you, because I definitely think that he wanted to keep them separate. Like, Gyutaro was intentionally, like, his thought process was, if you didn't follow me in this way, that's my only regret, right? You could have, like, been different. So I took not, like, his form in this, just him literally walking off to what seems like a portrayal of hell, and then saying, Ume, go the other direction, to the light. That was enough. And then Ume Daki just climbs on his back and they walk into hell together. Like...
It opens up the question of, could Ume have even gone to heaven?
Yeah.
After, or the light, after being a part of this?
It seemed like it, right? I
think maybe Gyutaro thought that Ume could.
You know what sucks? Like, Muzan is such an evil villain because he has the potential to save people's lives or make people's lives potentially better. Like, he could save somebody's life.
Technically here, Ume was probably going to die within the hour with those burns. So.
And through Muzan's will, Ume is resurrected, basically, and kept alive, but under the stipulation that she's now going to be encouraged to be even more evil and kill people. Like...
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
I think Gyutaro was a little bit onto something a little bit with, Ume he did say Ume is very impressionable. And he taught Ume to basically, like, collect. And so, obviously, that didn't probably make her the most compliant. And in the entertainment district, it does seem like if you want to survive and you want to make money or go up in rank, you need to be compliant.
Yeah.
Especially to a customer.
Yeah. which is fucking awful reality, but it seems to be the true reality.
Their lives were getting so much better because of the fact that both of them were able to make money or have kind of a better life. They had food to eat. Like, did you see how much food Gyutaru had in his hand when he went to go see Ume? Like, even though they were both having to do something that wasn't, like, probably the best thing ever, it was still better because they got to be together, they got to have food, they got to have shelter, things were looking up for them. You know, there could have been potential in this case. Like, Ume could have fallen in love with someone. They could have taken her away from there, you know? Because that's what happened to the Oiran.
Yeah.
The Oiran was leaving because someone wanted to marry her.
What was the reason that Ume stabbed him?
I'm wondering if he wanted Ume to do something Ume didn't want to do.
That's, like, the implication I feel like I got, or didn't want to, like, pay her or something. But, like, it's kind of crazy because, like, by Daki killing all these women, like, in the earlier episodes, she is, like, actively making them stay or not letting them get out of the position she never was able to get out of. Like, she's keeping them away from having a better life than she did.
Like, it's kind of bratty.
Yeah.
Because you would think that someone with a life like that would then attack more of the, like, the heads of how the society is working, the customers, the madam of the house.
Yeah.
And not the actual working women there. And so, obviously, that didn't probably make her the most compliant. And so, obviously, that didn't probably make her the most compliant. Probably make her the most compliant.
Probably make her the most compliant.